Most men never hear this truth until it breaks them. A woman is not committed to what you give her. She is committed to how she feels when she is around you. You can offer your time, your money, your loyalty. You can organize the trips, pay the bills, show up early, stay late, sacrifice your comfort, your plans, your peace. And still one day hear the words that shatter a man's identity. I don't feel the same anymore. That moment destroys men because they were raised on a false equation. Do more equals she stays. Give more equals security. But reality doesn't work that way. Women don't attach themselves to effort. They attach themselves to emotional experience. What matters is not the gift. It's the state you're in when you give it. Is your presence grounded, or is it anxious? Because women detect that instantly. They don't respond to gestures. They respond to energy. Today, this breakdown will show what loyalty actually attaches to, why men unknowingly repel it, and how Stoic presence creates commitment without chasing it. 1. Effort never guarantees loyalty. Men are taught that devotion is something you earn through sacrifice. Work harder, provide more, remove all friction from her life. But loyalty is not a reward system. A man can do everything right and still be left behind. Consider a man in his early 50s who believed love meant constant giving. Weekly gifts, planned getaways, financial support, endless accommodation. From the outside, he looked committed. Inside, his actions were driven by fear of loss, and fear leaks. When the relationship ended, he couldn't understand how it failed after all he had invested. The issue was not what he did, it was why he did it. Attraction is not a transaction. You don't purchase loyalty. You evoke it through presence. When effort comes from insecurity, it weakens respect. When it comes from strength, it reinforces it. Movement without grounding is not progress. It is erosion. Stoic wisdom reminds us that action without alignment is performance, and performance never sustains commitment. The correction is simple but uncomfortable. Stop working to be chosen. Start living in a way that makes choosing you effortless. 2. She responds to state, not behavior. Two men can perform the same action. One deepens attraction, the other kills it. Why? Because behavior is visible. State is felt. A gesture offered calmly feels generous. The same gesture offered nervously feels heavy. Humans are attuned to emotional signals. Posture, timing, tone, silence. Women don't analyze them. They register them. If your presence is settled, she relaxes. If your presence is unstable, she withdraws. You cannot control perception, you can control alignment. When action flows from centeredness, it carries weight. When it flows from fear, it collapses. This is why men who do very little often receive more devotion than men who exhaust themselves. Energy always outranks effort. 3. Neediness dissolves desire. Nothing drains attraction faster than a man who seeks constant confirmation. Reassurance questions, excessive messaging, gestures loaded with expectation. What he calls love feels like obligation. Neediness communicates scarcity. It says, I don't trust my own value. No woman wants to be responsible for a man's self-worth. When attention is given freely, it attracts. When it is given to secure approval, it repels. A grounded man does not outsource his stability. His identity stands independent of her reactions. That independence is what invites closeness. 4. Transactional love fails. Every time, many men keep an invisible scorecard: time spent, money given, effort extended, and beneath it all, a silent expectation of return. This transforms intimacy into pressure. The moment love feels conditional, desire contracts. Giving from fullness feels light. Giving from fear feels binding. No one desires what feels owed. Boundaries are not bargains, they are declarations of identity. When you stop attaching outcomes to actions, your presence becomes breathable again. 5. Respect precedes loyalty. Loyalty does not originate from kindness alone. It grows from admiration. A man who abandons his values to avoid tension loses authority, not through conflict, but through surrender. Respect is not demanded, it is demonstrated. A man who speaks calmly, holds his ground, and acts consistently creates safety. Safety creates admiration. Admiration sustains commitment. 6. Standards create gravity. Standards communicate worth without explanation. They show what you tolerate and what you don't. They establish structure. A man without standards adapts endlessly. A man with standards remains recognizable under pressure. Stability attracts. Saying no does not reduce interest. It refines it. What cannot be bent cannot be manipulated, and what cannot be manipulated is respected. 7. Pleasing erodes authority. Constant agreement is not kindness, it is avoidance. Pleasing removes polarity. Leading restores it. Leadership is not domination, it is decisiveness. A man who chooses direction removes uncertainty, and uncertainty is exhausting. Confidence invites relaxation. Indecision invites detachment. 8. Strength invites following. Fear-based behavior tightens control. Strength-based behavior loosens it. Strength is emotional steadiness, not volume, not force. A man who governs himself does not need to govern others. That composure builds trust. Women align with men who remain stable when emotion rises. 9. Freedom deepens commitment. Clinging accelerates loss. Space strengthens attachment. Autonomy is not abandonment, it is confidence. When a woman feels free, staying becomes a choice, not a response to pressure. Choice is where loyalty lives. 10. Loyalty attaches to experience. A woman does not remember effort. She remembers atmosphere. She remembers how she felt when life was heavy, how calm the room felt when you entered it. Presence outlasts performance. You cannot act your way into loyalty. You embody your way into it. If this message unsettled you, that's not an accident. It means you're still operating on effort instead of presence. And if you leave this channel without subscribing, you'll go back to consuming the same advice that keeps men confused, chasing, and replaceable. This channel exists to correct that path, daily. Miss one lesson and you miss a shift that could have changed how you show up tomorrow. Most men won't subscribe. They'll stay comfortable. They'll stay stuck. If you're serious about discipline, perception, and emotional control, subscribe now. Before you forget, before comfort pulls you back, before another relationship teaches you this lesson the hard way.